Hi guys, it's Lisa again. We're here doing another video discussion post for our children's literature class. The book that I have chosen this week to discuss is Heather Has Two Mommies by Leslie Newman. I went to the library and of course I was told that the book was pulled from our library system. So I pulled it up in our Kindle Fire tablet here that I will show you in a second. A little bit of background information about the book. It's a book that was written almost 25 years ago. Different versions have come out and updated versions are now available of this book. It was inspired by a real lesbian couple. They approached Miss Newman and kind of felt and told their story, saying that they had a daughter who they couldn't really find any books to relate to their home family. So they felt that there was a need for books to be out there that would speak about daily life and how, you know, there's other families that are different. Families don't just consist of a mother, of a father now. So that's one of the reasons why I chose the book. And here is the picture of the book on our Kindle Fire. Zoom in. Okay, Heather Has Two Mommies, okay? And the reason why I think that this book was banded was because it definitely speaks about homosexuality. The title tells you straight off that Heather, the main character, has two mommies. Throughout the book, it's a cute little story. It tells about Heather and how she likes the number 2 and how she has 2 feet, 2 hands, 2 dogs, and then 2 mommies. One of my favorite things about the book is the fact that it points out that even though Heather has 2 mommies, both of these mommies are loving and caring just like any mother would. One of my also favorite things from the actual book is the fact that it describes her mothers, and one of her mothers is actually a doctor, which I think is amazing point to bring out to the kids, because sometimes the world can be very judgmental, or lots of the times, and we think just because someone is different, they have to be stupid or something. So that's why I like the fact that the book here, as we can see, it pointed out that her mother, one of her mothers, is a doctor, and she was showing her cool things here in this picture. So I love that about the book. It definitely makes a great point stating that, you know, just because I may be a little different doesn't mean that in here I'm any more lesser of a person than anyone else. That's a great point, and I really like that it stated that in the book. With books, there's a difference between selection and censorship. Most of our librarians and our teachers have to censor our books or make like a final decision as to what books are available to our students in our libraries. Censorship is more of, I feel, a biased part of examining a book. It's like you're looking into the book and you're examining it and determining whether you think it's acceptable or not. And to a certain extent, I agree with that. We obviously don't want books that are teaching our kids to do illegal things in our libraries, but we definitely also don't want to exclude amazing books like Heather Has Two Mothers from our libraries, especially now in this day and age where our families are just so unique and different. Selection, when we select books, it is kind of like a smaller version of censorship, but not as detailed or biased. We just look at the theme, we categorize it by the theme. Sometimes we may look at it and like give it a low rating scale, but definitely not as detailed as censorship is. I believe certain books should be excluded from our libraries. Like I said before, like books that are going to teach our kids to do illegal things should definitely not be in our library systems, but books that are teaching our kids about everyday life should definitely not be excluded from our books. I'd rather my son or my daughter pick up a book and we can relate to them and say, you know, there's many children in the world that have two mommies, there's many children in the world that have two daddies, or there's many kids in the world that only have one mom or one dad. I feel like it's definitely very important for just the self-esteem of the students to learn that sometimes when you're a little different, you feel that you are the only one that is different. So it's nice to have books out there available for you to be open and talk to your kids and teach them about different things and teach them that you're not the only one that is different. This book I would definitely include in my classroom if it would fit into one of my lesson plans. I would make sure that I would get permission from my parents and definitely from the administrators. I don't know how that would go very well with all of my parents, but it's definitely something that I feel that I could use in a classroom. We should not blind our children from what they will face in the real world. With that being said, we definitely need books available that teach all the kids about what real life is. Like, sometimes I forget that we're living in the year 2015 because sometimes it does not feel that way. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed my video on discussion post, and looking forward to seeing everyone else's video and doing another video. Thanks. Bye guys.